Welcome to Support Services Direct. This podcast is designed to relate visualizing transformation to a system of profound knowledge, or SoPK. Dr. W. Edwards Deming developed SoPK late in his life, influenced by his long-term friend Russell Ackoff. SoPK has four broad constituents: an appreciation for a system, knowledge of variation, a theory of knowledge, and psychology. Deming described it as a lens which helps us to understand how organisations really work. SoPK requires us to understand all four aspects, especially that they are interdependent, i.e. knowledge of psychology is incomplete without a knowledge of variation. The VT process of Check, Plan, Appraise, Do, CPAD, is founded in these aspects and is still evolving, using current technologies and communication opportunities to build on the SoPK philosophy, which remains excellent after decades of trial and proof. Deming was a statistician, which is why variation is a strong component. However, a knowledgeable chief executive once said to me, "Deming, that's all about processes, isn't it?" It's strange how so many different views are created. However, the balance of all four aspects is crucial for optimal working. Starting with knowledge. Earlier podcasts discussed insight, where we showed that most organisations are data-rich, information-poor. The Ackoff hierarchy is usually shown in this pyramid fashion, but can also be shown in this series of dependent elements. Many executives, politicians and heads of state are forced to make decisions based on data, sublimely ignorant of the capabilities to create insight or indeed wisdom. Data are mere symbols, having no significance beyond their existence. Some of the data we find in organisations are what we call dirty data. There may be double entries or omissions, decimal point shifts, typos, or transposed pairs of entries. Cleaning data is the first phase towards creating information. A recent analysis of 41,000 lines of data in an accounts package showed 4,300 lines added back to zero, representing the industry of wrong entries and reversing them out. Discovering these root issues enables the ability to stop making those errors. A data entry error rate of 10% could take 40% of the total effort needed to maintain that account. A 0.1% failure rate for waste collection adds around 10% to the whole cost of collection. To create information from data, we give it context, combining and comparing data against time and unique events. We create run charts, annotating them with special events. We create control charts such that assignable causes may be separated from common calls. By developing more and more information through Check and into Plan, we enable some insight to be developed. We'll also baseline the service, showing the work volumes, budgets, initial broad outcomes and issues. In parallel with this, we generate an appreciation for the system, using the joiner triangle to understand the system through three voices: of our customers, the employees and the processes. This includes developing flowcharts, infograms, depicting workflows as the boundary conditions of the review. It's imperative not to just see the end-to-end service from the perspective of the customer, as the business perspectives or the product may hold enormous potentials not visible through a single lens. The psychology of change and continuous improvement is extremely important. How can you optimize performance without listening to your workers, who in turn must listen to their customers? How can you innovate without trust, empowerment and emotional freedom to experiment? All people involved need to learn and gain new mindsets to become more curious, asking new and better questions, which will evolve from better information. The whole nature of employee relations must shift. Managers' roles become guiders and removers of barriers. Support services become an integral part of the system, fully understanding for the first time exactly what the service is and therefore their true roles. The need to understand variation increases as service improvement starts to leap forward. Too often quick wins could be replaced by tampering. Treating special calls issues as common calls will have historically led to enormous constraints applied to systems because something happened once. Auditors often do this to improve controls, but actually make systems harder and costlier overall. Therefore, control charts, cause and effect charts, root cause analysis are needed to complement the other core information to better inform the ways ahead for more efficient and effective approaches in the future. Making this all work in a complex organisation cannot be left to chance. Simply hoping that if the chief executive understands, the rest will suddenly fall into place is not good enough. The VT approach, shown in these 4 pages, will bridge between the current way of working, or paradigm, to the new ways. Immediately following the attendance of the 3-day improvement experience, a whole-day workshop generates ideas, knowledge and opportunities, bringing together a wide array of people involved directly and indirectly with the services being reviewed. The workshop fulfills many functions, building on skills and awareness, creating new ideas, new ways of working, better ways to communicate, teamwork development and awareness of disconnects, enabling positive energy, new ways of thinking and new demands on managers. VT helps the organisation shift between paradigms, establish a senior transformation team, create a series of thread teams, each led by an operational volunteer, with a cross-section of employees, customers and a transformation team member, empowered to develop and test new ways of working. The threads develop the areas to be addressed, often starting with some quick win opportunities to make immediate sustainable improvements that create additional capacity to work on the transformation. If needed by the organisation, documentation is maintained, including an informative benefits realisation plan which starts with no targets until capacity and capability are known. Build a service intervention document such that the staff requirements can be planned for and agreed. If a risk register is required in the current paradigm, show the risks of non-commitment as the highest. Remember that everyone who works in, receives or decides on a service have their own ways of thinking, which impacts on their understanding and awareness. Simply creating information that is great for the customers and workers leaves the accountants, HR specialists and leadership team out in the cold. They all need great, meaningful information tailored to their needs. If that information is stunning and compelling, then the right decisions get made extremely easily and the services will continuously improve. If you fail to do this, some people simply won't understand and the new designs will never be implemented. To help support these new ways of working, make all information visible and transportable. Only having a base camp that holds it all stops wider awareness. Ensure great, appropriate information is available wherever the work happens, such as A3 overviews, including all the support satellite areas. Make sure designs are informed by what really happens in the work. Don't ever make assumptions based on beliefs. If you are not providing the information bespoke to their skill sets, professional needs or decision-making requirements, then you are failing to influence. Their inability to understand starts with your inability to meet them on their ground. Please ask yourself, how does SoPK relate to your current needs and changes? Support Services Direct are committed to delivering SoPK using visualizing transformation.